Hello, and welcome back to Tyranny, where last episode we went back into the Blade Grave, and we recovered the Dauntless Blade, and now we're here to go and talk to some other leaders of the Unbroken to rally them together so that way we can go to Sentinel Stand and kick some ass. And to kill the old Regent, supposedly. May not actually do that.
Ron's scrap is all that's left of the Unbroken caught in the storm. Where you see iron, disfavored that died with them.
Poignant words. And then there's also, of course, the, the steadfast emblem that we also need to recover so we can go through the, wind wall. An unbroken soldier struggles to rise to his feet, one arrow lodged in his shoulder, the other in his thigh. He attempts to stand, but his muscles are too weak for the task. Are you all right, soldier? He turns to you in bafflement, squinting across the dust-strewn expanse, recognition barely evident in his gaze. I can't recognize friend from foe in these winds. If there's any mercy in your heart, I beg you to help me. Before he can continue, you both catch the sound of iron boots trucking closer. A disfavored soldier calmly approaches from the west. No, he didn't. He ran. He regards the vulnerable southerner with a curled lip and disapproving shake of the head. Weak and broken, prisoners make for poor sport. Your escape was spirited, but damned foolish. He raises his sword and points it at the unbroken man's heart, poised to let it plunge and impale him into the filth-strewn ground. Stop this at once! The Fatebinder demands it. He frowns in your direction. You're... No, not that Fatebinder from the Apex Siege. You might have had the authority to stay my hand before you turned your back on the General, but I'm afraid Ash's orders are the only ones that I take. In one swift motion, he plunges his sword into the man's heart, pinning the fallen soldier to the rusted earth. The disfavored soldier turns to the unbroken camp, frustration evident in his tone. Then his gaze shifts over to you, and back to the walls. Are these your allies now, Ilya? Traitors and miscreants who break wars rather than win them. Theodore shakes his head. Better that you open your gates to me and preserve your dignity. You see a woman stride purposefully into view atop a platform along the wall's edge. She lifts a spear and hurls it at Theodore, cursing under her breath when it breaks against the rocks. I am so fucking tired of listening to you. Go shriek at somebody else's fortress for a change and stop trying to impress me by hunting down unarmed prisoners. Maybe the ladies of the North get shivery over your bravado, but all it tells me is that your codpiece is emptier than your skull. She takes note of you with a raised eyebrow. I don't believe we've been introduced. If you're here, maybe my days of shitting in a dirt hole are finished. Scamper back to your Archon with your tail twixt your legs, Theodore. I think my reinforcements arrived first. I gave you a chance to surrender and be my camp slave, Elia. When I hoist you onto a pike, just remember that I gave you a choice. He glares at you and steps back into the obscurity of the winds.
Yes.
He's a fucking creeper. And I will have absolutely no qualms pinning him
Nothing
to
says
the
welcome
dust.
like dead bodies rotting outside your front gate.
Makes a statement. The unbroken captain looks down from the elevated platform, resting a heavy boot on top of an axe head buried in the wooden slats. She grips its handle as you approach. Now, what do we have here? If it isn't the Stormcaller himself! You can shit. Sorry, I thought she said you can shit and bleed. She says you can eat shit and bleed. You can eat shit and bleed for shoving this edict up our asses without so much as a warning. She hawks an impressive glob of phlegm over the wall. I got a bird from Matthias that told me to expect you. Didn't believe my eyes at first. He doesn't normally get that excited, so I took it for a chorus trick. She shrugs. Sorry for doubting. Matthias says that you're important to the Unbroken, then I'm willing to believe the sentimental dung heap. I'm Ilya, leader of this hovel of dusk-choked worms. You're late, but not so untimely that we can't make use of you. The disfavored show up first and surrounded the camp. A few short classes later, and we had to pull back. We've sent ravens with pleas for aid, but our enemies keep shooting them out of the skies. She grimaces. I lost some fucking talented birds today, and it hasn't improved my mood. I come in behalf of a coalition of rebels united against Kairos. If I help you, will you hear us out? She regards you with incredulity. Do I look like I have time to hear about everyone else's problems? The disfavored have a sword to my throat. If you can wrestle them off me, then fine. You'll have my undivided attention. But until then, not a chance. If we're going to take back Stalwart, we need to find the artifacts that the Regents carried into the war. They're the only hope we have at crossing the wind wall into Sentinel Stand. What needs to be done? In the long run, we seek vengeance against the disfavored for tearing Stalwart to bits, and the last Regent for betraying us when we needed his courage. For now, well, I'll be pleased if we can hold this fort against the disfavored. The fight will come to us whether prepared for it or not. My scouts have reported disfavored forces closing in, so it'd be in your best interest to arm yourself for battle. We could always use an edge. She studies you and nods. Some of our men are captive to the disfavored on the outside of camp. Deal with Kairos' soldiers and rescue ours. That'll give us a few more bodies to hurl at our enemies. She stands taller against the harsh winds. The sooner Theodore joins his countrymen as a corpse, the sooner I get to leave this garbage heap. No problemo. No disfavored, no problem.
Can't do that.
Sup? The lieutenant holds his sword and squints through the obscurity of the high winds. Who goes there? Oh, it's you. Oh, I wish you didn't have to witness that crude exchange before. Elia and her lot have caused me no lack of trouble. He frowns and tightens his grip on his sword. Normally I would welcome a servant of the court, but Ash told me to keep an eye out for traitors stepping on our territory. Stand down, Commander. I don't always agree with the Fatebinder's methods, but I believe we can get this war back under control. We have this opportunity to help each other and set the right example. Barrack? It pains me to see you come marching out from this one's shadow. Ash told me to extend this invitation if you happen to by. Come back to the fold. Nothing is beyond forgiveness to a true son of the North. I would that I could accept the invitation, Theodore. My heart longs for the failings, but the war has changed since the early days. Glory has bled from it, and left atrocity in its wake. Only the Fatebinder is mad enough to enforce order. Now, so be it. He shakes his head and sighs. Even in these blighted lands where no spade can crack the parched earth, I will give you the funeral rites you deserve and return your armor to the storm. I'm sorry it came to this. As for you, Fatebinder, he grimaces. Rust Canyon is ours, and we will shatter the so-called Unbroken for the glory of the General. If you intend to get in our way, then by Ash's command I'll have no choice but to end you. Under my authority as Fatebinder, I hereby claim Rust Canyons in the name of Tunon. Submit or die. He stares at you for a moment, waiting to tell if you're done, and then clears his throat to rattle the dust for you. Now, I don't fancy myself a legal clerk, but that still sounds like beast shit to me. In spite of his words, his creased brow reflects some doubt. If we were standing before the adjudicator, I'm sure you could find some dumb precedent that supports a move like that. Better we feed your bones to the storm before you get the chance. He calmly motions for his soldiers to charge, smiling all the while.
This is useless. I should try something else.
Hey, nobody saw that, right?
Alright, well. Now that that's all adjusted. Have I introduced you to Meteor Strike yet? I don't think I have.
That was beneath. You'll have to get through me first.
Oh, come on, you fools.
Will do.
This weapon is useless. Why can't I hit anything? Time to change weapons.
On it.
I need to try a different tactic. This isn't working.
From within the cage, a beaten and weary figure whispers to you. Are we free to go? You've been released. Return to your comrades. At last, one of them sighs as the prisoners crowd the exit. I thought we'd be shipped off to the Kando Mountains, says another as he flies out of the cage. As the prisoners turn to leave, the last one grabs your hand and says, Thank ye, stranger. Were it not for you, well, I shudder to think what they would have done to us.
Can't do that.
Problem solved, lady. Thank you, Fatebinder. Your deeds may just turn the tide. She scans the distant canyon as the sound of approaching force grows in volume. They're coming! Get inside! We'll open the gate for you. Everybody, prepare for a disfavored assault. Fatebinder, I want you guarding the gates. Good timing. Our lookout reported that the disfavored are making for this encampment. She looks out at the canyons. Never thought I'd see myself fight so hard to defend a garbage furrow in Kairos be damn dirt. But we've done a fair job digging our claws in the area. But we're not equipped to stand against the disfavored iron for too long. Can you help us? Ready. The captain turns as a soldier cries out from the eastern side of the fort. They're here. Defend the eastern gate. I'll prepare the main gate for the next wave. Quickly, make it to the east gate before it falls.
Destroy them!
On it.
That's how I like it.
Bam.
Why can't I hit anything?
Unleash
You
it.
learn something every day.
Yeah, because the disfavored have no fire resistance and no arcane resistance, so... They're really good at handling physical attacks, but really terrible at anything else. Which naturally makes them quite prone to magic.
Oh, I'm terrible at this. How am I not dead yet?
Grave Light.
I got it.
Enemies at the west gate.
Can't do that.
Looks like they're at the main gate. Yeah, nope, they brute through. I leveled up, so... Well, that replaces Shield Bash, so do Shield Assault. I don't do that very often, but it's useful. Then stick him with a pointy end. And then Twisting Flame. Unleash another gout of rolling flame.
That's how I
Then
like
unleash
my prey.
lightning.
Well done and helpless.
On it.
Whoops. Anyone else want some of this?
Get back here!
Stick you with the pointy end again. What else? Oh, they're back here.
I can't.
Ah! This will be fun.
This weapon is useless.
Well, I don't want her to die, so... do what I can to direct his attention away from the allies.
Will do.
And sunder his
Time
armor.
to change weapons.
Oh, I'm terrible at this. How am I not...
There we go.
Right.
You're still alive, Skyblade.
Can't do that. Sorry, I can't.
Another demonstration of our power seems in order.
And bam. I'd say quite right there.
I got it.
That's how I like my prey. Well hung and helpless.
Take that!
On your knees, worm!
Well, that did nothing except take them off.
No, fireball. Well, I say all in all, decent defense. Elia nods at you, her face showing the hint of an appreciative smile. Less than I anticipated. It seems their full force has yet to arrive. Her eyes dart about the fallen enemies, searching for familiar faces. No commanders here. Damn. A few distant horn blasts pierce the wind from the south. That's probably the rest. We can expect far more than the initial assault. Troubling. If the disfavored were sent on assault without a commander, the move would be a stalling tactic. We won't survive the day if we stay here. Our walls have been compromised and the winds grow stronger still. She points north past the twisted remains of the gate. That is our only route. Theodore sent men to hold the northern junkyard. We'll have to chance with them, but only if we act now. Help me one more time and I'll tell you what I know about getting inside Sentinel's stand. She pauses to touch the tip of her spear. You must be careful. We've trapped the terrain north of the camp. Step lightly and rally to the northwest plateau. If we defeat the soldiers stationed there, we'll have a clear escape route. Very well. One more thing, Fatebinder. Not all my men made it behind the walls after the initial attack. My hope is that they're hiding in the northern canyons and well suited for travel. If you find any of my crew, give them a chance to escape while there's still time.
Right.
I will do what I can, and I promise nothing more.
Sorry, I can't.
Well, that's why my nose hurt. There's a ruptured membrane. That's not great.
Sorry, I can't. Huh.
And there's
Found
another
something.
trap right there.
Can't do that.
Aw, I couldn't hit the disfavor.
This is useless. I should try something else.
Unleash another gouts of fire. Doom, doom to disfavored fools.
Ah, I'm terrible at this. How am I
He's trying
not
to sneak
dead?
up from behind. No, he won't. I was already launched in a different attack. I guess I'll stab this guy. Sunder his armor. That's the thing with disfavored. If you don't focus fire, Graven Ash will heal them.
Why can't I hit anything?
This is useless. I should try something else.
terrible at this. How am I not dead yet?
Yeah, because he has Grass's Aegis. Drowning, Frightened, Frozen, Bane of Night, Taunted, and Bane of Night again. And he's also spell breached. And sundered. There we go. Tough son of a bitch. But all that his favorite are.
Right.
Oh, the crescent
Trouble is
runners
afoot.
are.
Oh, this weapon is like nipples on men. Useless.
Will do. Sorry, I can't.
No living. And the crested walls of the Blade Grave. It is beautiful. It's haunting. But it's beautiful. In its own way. Ooh. Fatebinder. Jacomus advances with murderous intensity in his gaze. I lost soldiers in that... Oh, whatever. I lost soldiers in that attack. Good northerners who won't see their homes again. Is it too late to apologize? We are the blood of the North, and we never forget a slight against our people. You have transgressed everything we hold dear. Graven Ash will never forget this. His anger is something only an Archon could comprehend. I hope, for your sake, that you have the decency to die here. He delivers a signal to the rest of his cohort. Attack the Fatebinder!
You have no hope.
On it.
I'll hit you twice as hard next time!
Kaboom.
Damn my eyes!
This is useless. I should try something else.
Lightning, boys. Lightning. Followed up with a little bit of fireball. And follow that up with a little bit of grave light. Follow Ebbs up with her special ability. Follow mine up with a good little bit of life leech.
Take me if you can!
I've been petrified, so I can't do anything.
Oh, if I had an iron ring for every dumbass mistake of mine.
So I'll grave light the mage.
You'll have to get through me
Geek the
first.
mage! Geek the mage!
That was...
On it.
The battle is over. The clash of iron and bronze that filled the air has ended, leaving only the storm's wails and the last ragged gasps of a dying soldier. Ilya ascends the path leading to the blood-soaked plateau and moves towards you, pointedly stepping over a disfavored corpse, the way one would a fallen log. She nods at you, her face showing the hint of An appreciative smile. Many thanks. We won't forget how you bled the Unbroken. How you bled with the Unbroken. Since we're both still standing, I'll keep my word to you. You were looking for an artifact, right? Aye, and we've been searching for some time. She glances around with evident exhaustion. You try finding anything useful in this garbage heap. Matthias sent us hunting for the remains of Regent Aspion. Before the war, he was known for carrying an artifact called the Steadfast Insignia. Her eyes twinkle as she says the name. Doing that one disfavorite's voice chewed my throat up. So sorry. No, it's still burning and raw. Well, I won't be doing her voice then. It's a symbol of stalwart's determination in battle. Before the war, Regent Aspion wore it pinned to his cloak, and his soldiers grew more and more daring on the battlefield when they saw him enter the fray. They say it can marshal forces to stand tall against any threat, and give them the strength to march with purpose without taking harm. When you think about it, I bet the insignia could let an army stand against Kairos' wind wall. You could even stride in the sentinel stand like you were enjoying clear skies. What did you learn about the Regent? We were looking for the body. Instead, we found records of his past movements. Just before the edict hit, he was on his way to what we know now as a breach in the old walls. I couldn't say what he thought he would find there, except its wild dwellers and an early death. She frowns in thought. If he planned on unleashing the bane on the disfavored, I might have told him he was dumb as Ash's hammer. We sent a small team, led by one of our best, Gregos, to investigate the breach. It's said to be a cursed place, and crawling with bane. Likely as not, the steadfast insignia is there. Gregos travels with a small contingent of sages. Who better to bring on an expedition into the old walls than some dusty old librarian? So where do you go from there? Away from Rust Canyons? I received word that there are still disfavored in the area, but it sounds like the Legion is in full retreat. I doubt they're in any hurry to feed more bodies to the storm. You've been quite the asset to the Unbroken. Considering the victories you've earned us, I'd say you deserve all the praise we can heap upon you come the war's end. Thank you again for everything. I know there's still much to be done at the breach and elsewhere. If you have any questions, my time is yours. Any other artifacts of value? Regent Desperados carried the helm of the First Regent, but he was caught unawares when the Edict of Storms hit without a warning. Ilia glares at you, seemingly ready to speak, then her severe tone falters. I suppose you did what you had to do during the war, like the rest of us. Here's a map where they fell. Farewell. Well, no. I'm looking through my quests. Is that not one of my See, now I'm confused, because she said she...
Sorry, I can't.
She said... I'm looking for the helmet. Because that's the only piece of armor that I really have left. That's one of the few artifacts I wasn't able to pick up on my previous runs, because I did the, an Edict of Earth and the Edict of Fire, respectively, in my previous 2 runs. So I never had a chance to do the Edict of Storms.
Sorry,
so I never had
can't.
a chance to get the helmet. There we go. Helm of the First Regent.
I'll just hold on to this.
So I have on my person the Helm of the First Regent, the Bronze Bulwark, the Steadfast Insignia, which I kind of took along with me, so sorry, I already got that. Slugfist Gauntlets, Mirrored Stompers, the Emerald Pin, Penumbra, the Bane Ward, the Tenderizer, and the Stubborn Aegis. I love that glow around Penumbra. I am just laden in artifacts.
Sorry, I can't.
Move the rock. Hey, boys. Hold! The soldiers, weary from lack of nourishment, scramble to draw weapons and snap to attention as the apparent leader steps forward to address you. I don't recognize you. Are you with the Unbroken? Yes, we helped we helped Elia defend the camp and free the prisoners. There's still time to escape. That's a relief. We thought you were here to kill us. Our hope is to escape the canyon, but until Kyros's forces leave, we're stuck here. Is the area clear? The path is clear. My thanks. We're eager to reunite with the rest of our group. The men gather and depart. Quests completed. No, that fuck is dead. I know it's like, here you go to talk to the person. I'm like, no, that guy's dead. I made sure to kill that fucking asshole. I killed him real good. Nothing but a corpse.
Sorry, I can't. Can't do that.
How do I go to the spire? No direct road. Sped to be. The breach is said to lead to the floor. Alright, that's not that big of a deal then.
Sorry, I can't.
So the old wall's breach. And yes, I'm going to end this episode here because my throat is ragged and I'm not going to be able to do any of the voices. So the quality will not be how it's supposed to be. So, next episode we will enter the old wall's breach and deal with all that jazz. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.